Project Altis was a really cool Toontown server for its time, and was a big competitor to Toontown Rewritten. People would think that Project Altis would overtake Toontown Rewritten. While that didn't really happen, it still had a really good population. However, around 2017, things started to go bad for them. The population would go to 1,000 players to just 24 players. And then around that time, the game would close down. So whatever happened to Toontown Project Altis? Well, let's go back to the day it all started. Now correct me if I'm wrong when I say this, but I know this isn't the exact date, but this is really just the earliest. A guy called Dank Mickey showcased a new Mr. Hollywood with shades. Sure, it wasn't really a big thing at the time, but that would hint for a new project. Then he showed a brand new cog called the Big Fish, hinting that they would be making a new cog tape. Later, he'd show off all of the cogs and telling us it would be a cog called, or a group of cogs called the Board Bots. And a lot of people thought this looked really promising. They kept showing some stuff for Project Altis, like new rain or higher quality textures, sound effects, etc, etc. This was looking really good for a Toontown server, and a lot of people were really surprised. And around December 19th, 2016, Project Altis would come out and would be the first Toontown server that wasn't Toontown Rewritten to get 1,000 players. They showed off a new gag track, a new title screen, new Toontown Central, 6-story buildings, new task line, new animals, oh my goodness. Yeah, they had a lot to offer, and it was really looking good for them. And then people raided their Discord. Thing got so bad that they had to close their Discord for a while. And yeah, the raiding finally ended, and everything went back to normal. Until January 4th. The game got hacked, and it got hacked horribly. The staff got hacked. Things were starting to leak out. The hackers made your head spin, oh my god. I mean, it made my head spin when I was seeing all this hacking. They also called rats in your computer, jump scare tabs on your computer, and a lot of people were not thinking that Project Altis would be a safe place to play a game. And a lot of people were now just starting to not trust Project Altis after this massive hacking, so this kind of affected their player base. But thankfully, it didn't affect their player base too much because they'd still have an active player base around 600 to 300 players. But you surely think the hacking and ratings and hate would end for them, right? Well, you're wrong. Around March, the owner DeVito thought, I think we should put the game on Steam. And he did it. And it didn't go well. Everybody saw this as a red flag, and they told them not to put the game on Steam.
That, like I said, all Toontown private servers are fundamentally inherently illegal. Anyone who disputes that is an idiot. And Disney has been gracious, has stayed out of the way of getting involved because of the fact that nothing was getting pushed to the boundaries. I think they just didn't want to get involved. But now that we're seeing the legality being pushed to the boundaries by creators like the creators of Project Altis, Disney can very easily just jump in and say, okay, you know what, fuck this, cease and desist to everyone, get the fuck out of here, guys, show's done.
Because this would not be only risking Toontown Project Altis' server, it'd be risking the whole Toontown community. Because if Disney saw something like this, they would kill Project Altis, Rewritten, Infinite, House, pretty much all these Toontown servers, they would be killed by Disney. The page was looking down, thankfully, but this affected Project Altis horribly. And barely anybody was playing it, and it went to just 80 players to now as low as 10 players. So in the end, they closed the game for pre-beta, and it was successful. Not 1,000 players successful, but still pretty good. Around when Toontown Project Altis was trying to go into beta, they saw what Toontown Rewritten was doing for their elections, and Toontown Project Altis was like, let's do that. And before you say, well, Anthony, could have been a coincidence. Well, you would be wrong, because Toontown Rewritten had a tie with their election. TTPA did the exact same thing. This could not have been a coincidence. It could be a coincidence, but it's so unlikely that I don't know. It just looked like at this point that Project Altis was just desperate and just started copying Toontown Rewritten. Around July, they did open beta for a little while before closing back into closed beta. When they released the game, it was a little too late. Nobody cared about Project Altis. Barely anybody was playing it, and the population was at an all-time low around late 2017. So in the end, Project Altis closed down for good. So, what did happen to Project Altis? Why did the game close down? Why did it become a bad Toontown server? How did it become to one of the second most popular Toontown servers to just a Toontown server that nobody cares about? Well, there's a few things. The hacking. You see, when a game gets hacked, people now just say, this is not trustworthy. A lot of people just think it's not safe to play the game. And a lot of people thought that Toontown Project Altis security was just really bad. And you'd be right. The security was not that good, and Project Altis really needed to step it up with their security. But they had to learn the hard way twice. Yeah, not once, but twice. Also, another reason why this could have happened, the downfall, was the game on Steam. A lot of people saw that they were putting their game on Steam and they were like, I don't want to play Project Altis. They try to kill the whole Toontown community, and that could have risked everything. I don't want to play that game. And that affected them really bad. And then there's just one more. They released too much at once. I mean, is it a coincidence that Toontown Offline and Rewritten are still relevant after 4 years? Well, the reason why is because they release new content at a time. Project Altis laughs at that and just releases everything at once. So, as you can see, they just failed because they had no new content. So why should people come back to play this game? But after that, there was really not much to add besides BoardBot HQ. And there was really nothing to do for Project Altis, and the game just kind of died off there. But thankfully, Project Altis did not want to end, and they made a new Toontown server called Corporate Clash. Again, it's not as successful as Toontown Rewritten, but it's still going good, and I really fear for Corporate Clash. You see, it's going through the Project Altis route. It's doing really good at the beginning, but now it has nothing new to offer. I don't know what's gonna happen to Corporate Clash. It could go through the Toontown Project Altis route, or it could still be a successful server after months on end. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Pretty much, this is how Project Altis killed themselves. Anyways, that's it guys, and I'll see you later.